Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Reaching Riches here. So today was declaration. So if you didn't see, they did declare, and it was 12 cents per share for QDTE, or sorry, XDTE, and then for QDTE it was 33 cents. So you had today to buy in to get that distribution, and tomorrow's X day, so expect the funds to drop by the distribution amount. So QDTE is going to drop by 33 cents, and XDTE is going to drop by 12 cents. So expect that to happen tomorrow, and I hope you all got to collect your or got to qualify to get those dividends. Alright, so let's get into the spreadsheet. Alright, so this is QDTE. So I did do some changes, and I went back and looked at the data, and I plugged those in, because some of the stuff I wasn't completely tracking, like the long calls, because they don't really change when they were so deep in the money. I didn't think they would really make a difference on the tracking side of things, and so I went back and found what data I could about those. So when we get to those, I'll show you that. But over here I put the historical stuff. This was part of some of the updates I had to do. So let's go into the long calls, and I'll explain the other stuff later. So over here, so these were the snapshots that I had from some previous tracking that I did. I'm gonna start tracking the long calls much more closely now that I listened to the coach's interview with RoundHill. So that's kind of what inspired me to start looking at these a lot more, because they did say that these long calls is kind of what would help stabilize the NAV. So yeah, I started looking into these more, and I only have these three snapshots of long calls, same with the XDTE. So basically what I did here is this formula is just calculating the price per contract. Same with these. So the price per contracts are here. So on March 25th through the 26th, their contracts for NDX, they were worth 1.65 million a piece. And their XND, they were worth 64.50 a piece. Now moving to the next week, or the next day, 327. This is what they reported that the values were. So I get these from their holdings. So if you scroll up to their holdings, they post the market values of each. So this is pretty much what I'm just plugging in. So I want to know like what each contract is worth from day to day, just to see if we really are even making money on these. I mean, just them being in the money, just so deep in the money right here, is already meaning that we're winning. But if the contract prices are dropping, then that's not good. So so I plugged in all of these. So the greens are NDX and XND, and then the yellows are what the contracts are worth. So from March 27, or this calculation is taking the forward date minus the back date. So on March 25 and 6, these contracts were worth 1658, or sorry, 1.65 million, and then on March 27 they dropped in price, so they were worth 1.655 million. So that's a $3,000 decrease roughly. And then same here with XND, their value dropped by another 100. So from 64.50 to 63.50. Now if you look at today what they're worth, so each contract is worth, or for NDX, each contract's worth 1.642 million. So that is a decrease from the 27th of 12,200. So that's a pretty big drop. and then from here for XND it dropped another $100, so from 63.50 to 62.50. So and then total we are down. Let me change this to red. Total we're down 15,582 on our long calls. So they are essentially what I'm taking from this is that they're worth less than what they were paid for when they were first bought. So they're worth in total negative 15,582, which is kind of not what you want to see with these. Alright, so let's go into XDTE and let's look at the holdings. So I already imported the data, so we're going to insert the new row. Alright. Okay, and then I already grabbed the numbers, so this is gonna be XND, so it's gonna be this one. Let's put it here. Sorry. Put it here, and then grab this one. Put it here. Alright. So let's go figure out what happened. So today they sold XND 50 contracts for 8 cents a piece, so they collected $400. It opened at 180.76 and it closed at 181.22. And this is giving me an error, so give me a second here. What's going on? I think it's just because there's no there we go. Let's see if this works. Alright, so let's go and reveal, see what they did here. So 182, so their strike was 182, so they did win. So open at 180.76, they had a strike of 182, and they did close at 181.22. So that means it was 0.69% out the money, and they got full profit for that one. So up here is going to be the new running profit, loss, and premium collected. Alright, and then let's go into a new row. Alright, so let's grab these new ones here and here. Alright, so let's go reveal that. So they had an NDX, they sold 4 for $17.74 and they collected $7,096, and it looks like they chose a strike of 18,170. It opened at 18,076, strike of 18,170. It closed at 18,121. So that means it closed below. These are not wanting to cooperate. There we go. Alright, so this one was 0.52% out the money, and they did take full profit, so that's good. So right now this is wrong. There we go. Okay, so this is so right now they are projecting to do, I mean, just based off of this one trade, it's not much, but right now they're making 4 cents. So that's good. So they have, so this is the start of the week. So next Tuesday is their declaration day, so that's when it'll end. So we still have plenty of days to trade. So this is day 1. Alright, and then we can go into QDTE analysis. So this is something new. I've updated all of this stuff here. So the gaps analysis, it's lagging one day just because of the Google Sheets. It only updates a day after, so for today's it's not going to show, but it's not that big of a deal. So from yesterday, or from the previous days, we did have a gap up on the 29th and then a gap down yesterday. So still our largest gap is 215.99. Our largest gap down is negative 123.90. So far it still says that on the gap ups we are still positive 279.38. Alright, so let me go and explain kind of what this is here. So I've been trying to figure out how they are declaring their dividends, and I did reach out. I tried to ask them how they do their calculations, and they couldn't really give me a clear answer besides that it's lagging. And he said that the first distribution had about a week and a half, which makes sense. So that means they took pretty much these 2 first weeks to pay out. So the outstanding shares for QDTE on those 2 weeks were 140,000. So they collected 59,424 on the first week, and they collected 44. Wait, sorry. Let me backtrack a bit. So this is their week and a half. Sorry, and then they had 140,000, and they collected a total of 159,424, which would mean if you divide the premium collected by the outstanding shares, you should get 42 cents, which is good, and they paid out 36 cents. So that means if you go over here, they had 6 cents left over to roll over into the next distribution. So if we go to 18 to 22nd, they had 140,000 shares, and they collected a total of 44,813, which means based on just the premium collected, they could have paid out 32 cents. But if you add in the rollover, they have a total of 38 cents to available to distribute. And we know that they announced a 33-cent distribution, which means they're still positive 5 cents. And then, so that means I think they're gonna distribute this one right here, 25th to the 1st now. So since it's lagging, we should see this one declared next Monday. Sorry, next Monday. I think they declare. Let me just double check that. So they will declare on the 9th, which is Tuesday. So they will declare on Tuesday, which I think is what they're gonna declare. So, so here the shares did go up by 40,000, so it's 180. Premium collected is like nothing, 16,969, which would mean we would be getting, just based on the premium collected, just 9 cents a share. But if you add in the rollover, it would be 15 cents a share. So that is what I'm thinking they will distribute next week, because they don't have any extra. So if they want to keep it high, they can pay all of this out. If they're gonna lower it, then maybe 10 cents. But if they do distribute this around this 30-cent area, then I I really don't know where they're getting the extra money at, unless they're just gonna start giving us just more of our own money back, which is not what I want to see. Alright, and then this is not finished yet, since this is this week that I'm tracking. So once this week finishes out, then I'll go over these new numbers. Alright, so now we'll go over XDTE. We'll start with the long calls. Alright, so they had SPX 6 contracts, market value at 2.862 million, which means they were valued at 477,000 per contract. Moving to March 27, the contracts were worth 476 per contract. So that means they took it lost $890 in value. And then now fast forward to today, these contracts are worth 476 still. So 476 127. So it wasn't really that much of a loss. They're down $123 from the 27th to today. So total net loss Move this to red. Total net loss is $1,000 or $1,013. So not too bad, not nearly as bad as QDTE, but still that's not really what we want to see. We want these long calls to appreciate in value. Alright, so now let's look into their trades. So I can probably get rid of this column now. Alright, so let's insert a new row. Alright, so let's grab these numbers. These ones are having trouble too. I need to fix that. Alright, so let's fix these ones. Alright, let's go and review what their strike was. So they sold 11 SPX contracts for $1.04 and collected $11.44 per contract. It opened at 52.04 and they had a strike of 52.30. Alright, and that closed at 52.04. So that is below their contract. So they collected a full $1,144. So that is good. This one, let me update this one here. So 105. So these are the 105,000. It's a new outstanding shares. So right now we're looking at 1 penny per share, but that's only one trading day, so that's to be expected. All right, so great job on their strike selection. They collected a full premium. Let's look at the analysis tab. So same thing here. Their net gains and losses from the gaps it's still up at 73.03, which is good. The largest gap up is $37.68, and the largest gap down is $27.17. So still same as before. And now let's look at the numbers from the distributions. So this one is looking a lot worse than QDTE, so let's get into it. So their first week and 2 days that they had to trade with, they had 35,000 shares and they collected $4,414, which means they could distribute 13 cents per share. But as we know, they distributed 20 cents per share. So that means there's 7 cents in the hole. Alright, so now let's look at their second distribution, which was from the trades from 18 to 22 of March. Still had 35,000 shares. They collected $4,245, which means they could distribute 12 cents a share. But since they were in a hole, I would think that they would try to cover their losses, and they would only really have 5 cents to distribute. But we know that didn't happen. They distributed the exact 12 cents here. So moving forward to last week, the 25th to the 1st, shares jumped up dramatically in this week. So it went from 35,000 to 105,000. So premium collected was only $2,011, which is sad. It's sad. So they are only able to distribute 2 cents per share, and they are in the hole again for 7 cents. Right? Yeah, 7 cents. So where is this one coming from? Distribution amount minus N3. This is, hold on. Sorry, this formula is all messed up. Should be, there we go. Alright, so they only made enough to pay out 2 cents, but they are in the hole. They're in the hole 7 cents again, which means they have nothing to distribute if they were to cancel out their losses. But yeah, so I really don't know what they're gonna pay here, because they made no money. If you net the losses, they could pay, I want to say they're gonna pay 5 cents. They're gonna pay something. I don't know what it is, but I I mean, the math is showing that they're negative, so I mean, I think they're gonna pay five, maybe 5 to 10 cents. I can't imagine it being any higher. Um, yeah, but we're gonna see what they declare. But I mean, the math here is saying they can't pay anything out. But time will tell to see what their distribution is. All right, that's all I had for you guys. If you guys liked the video, please hit the like and subscribe. And as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is just for fun and entertainment. All right, out.